In just 24 hours, headlines across tech blogs and Twitter exploded. Anthropic has suspended access to its newest Claude models. Developers worldwide scrambled for answers as the sudden freeze rippled through AI communities. The move raises a pressing question for the global tech ecosystem: what does this mean for India's fast-growing AI ambitions? Anthropic cites internal resource reallocation and heightened safety reviews as the reason for the pause. The company says it needs to stabilize infrastructure and conduct deeper alignment tests before rolling out further capabilities. This temporary freeze is unusual for a leader known for rapid model releases while maintaining its commitment to responsible AI development. India's AI landscape is booming, over $8 billion in private AI funding in 2023, a national AI strategy targeting $1 trillion GDP impact by 2030, and a talent pool of 2 million-plus engineers. Major cities host AI research labs, and startups are racing to build domain-specific LLMs for healthcare, agriculture, and finance while leveraging multilingual datasets. The suspension forces Indian developers to reassess reliance on foreign APIs, accelerating efforts to create sovereign models. It also highlights an opportunity: homegrown LLMs can fill the gap, attract domestic investment, and reduce geopolitical risk. Policymakers may now push harder for AI self-sufficiency incentives through tax breaks, grants, and public-private partnerships. Anthropic's public statement points to 3 concrete factors: heightened safety reviews to prevent harmful outputs, approaching compute limits on their training clusters, and pending licensing renewals with data partners. The company says it must ensure responsible deployment before widening access, a stance echoed in their blog post emphasizing alignment over speed. Behind the scenes, insiders suggest mounting pressure from investors wary of costly safety failures, a talent drain as researchers seek more publish-friendly environments, and intensifying competition from rivals releasing models faster. These internal tensions may have tipped the balance toward a cautious halt despite public assurances. Independent analysts weigh in. Gartner notes a growing trend of model providers throttling releases to mitigate risk, while IDC's AI safety lead warns that compute bottlenecks are becoming a hidden gatekeeper. Meanwhile, AI ethicists praise the move as a rare example of prioritizing societal impact over rapid scaling. For Indian developers, the suspension creates both a hurdle and an incentive. Immediate reliance on foreign APIs is disrupted, but it also fuels the push for sovereign LLMs and domestic compute infrastructure. Policymakers may now accelerate funding for homegrown models to reduce dependence on volatile external access. Within hours of Anthropic's announcement, Indian AI founders took to Twitter and LinkedIn to voice concern and opportunity. "We built our product on Claude 3, this pause forces us to accelerate our homegrown LLM roadmap," tweeted Pranav from Bangalore-based health AI startup Medibot. Others highlighted the chance to attract domestic talent and investment as global reliance wavers. Academic leaders echoed the urgency. Professor Anil Sahasrabudhe, chairman of AICTE, said in a press release, "This event underscores the need for India to strengthen its foundational AI research and create resilient, open-source models." IIT Madras posted a blog noting a surge in student projects exploring LLM fine-tuning on Indic datasets, calling it a wake-up call for self-reliance. Government response was swift. MITY Secretary Ajay Soni told ET, "We will review our AI mission allocation to prioritize indigenous model grants." Niti Aayog's AI task force released a statement. "Anthropic's pause validates our push for a national AI compute framework. We aim to launch a sovereign LLM sandbox by Q4 2025. The overall sentiment blends concern with optimism. A recent NASCOM Pulse survey shows 62% of Indian AI firms view the pause as a catalyst to diversify their model stack, while 38% worry about short-term project delays. Stakeholders agree, the moment may fast-track India's ambition to become a global AI hub built on homegrown foundations. When Anthropic's newest Claude models went dark, Indian developers turned to the thriving open-source ecosystem. Models like Meta's Llama 3, Mistral's Mixtral, and the Falcon series are now freely downloadable, offering comparable performance for many language tasks. By pulling these weights from Hugging Face, teams can immediately replace API calls with self-hosted inference, sidestepping the suspension while retaining full control over data and latency. Cloud providers have stepped in to host these open models, removing the burden of managing GPUs. AWS Bedrock now offers Llama 2 and Mistral as managed endpoints, Azure AI Studio provides serverless Mistral deployments, Google Vertex AI lets you fine-tune Llama 3 with a few clicks. Even Indian clouds, JioCloud and Tata Communications InstaCompute, have launched GPU-ready instances preloaded with these models, letting developers scale instantly. Fine-tuning massive models no longer requires a supercomputer. Techniques like LoRa, low-rank adaptation, and QLoRa, quantized LoRa, let you adapt a 70B model with just a few gigabytes of GPU memory. By freezing the base weights and training only small adapter matrices, Indian startups can specialize models on legal, medical, or Indic language datasets using a single RTX 4090 or a modest cloud GPU hour, keeping costs low while preserving model quality. Putting it all together, a typical workflow looks like: download Llama 370B, quantize it to 4-bit for efficient inference, collect a domain-specific corpus, e.g., Hindi legal texts, apply LoRa adapters for fine-tuning, evaluate on a held-out set using metrics like BLEU and domain accuracy, then deploy via a managed endpoint or a Kubernetes-scaled service. This end-to-end pipeline lets Indian developers stay productive despite Anthropic suspension, while building sovereign AI assets. India's next policy wave will center on AI sovereignty. Lawmakers are drafting the AI Resilience Bill, which proposes mandatory data localization for high-risk models, tax incentives for domestic compute clusters, and a fast-track approval process for open-source LLM projects. The goal is clear: create a regulatory sandbox that balances safety with rapid innovation, ensuring homegrown models can compete on a global stage. Public and private investment are already aligning. The government's Strategic AI Fund has earmarked $750 million for next-generation model research, while venture capitalists are shifting $2 billion into startups focused on multimodal AI, low-resource language models, and edge inference chips. Together, these capital flows aim to build a self-sustaining ecosystem that can weather external supply shocks. Innovation hubs are emerging across the country. Hyderabad Cyberabad AI Zone offers subsidized cloud credits, Tata Institute of Fundamental Research launches a national LLM lab, and the New Delhi AI Innovation Corridor connects startups with academia via shared compute pools. These clusters aim to accelerate prototype-to-product cycles, transform research papers into market-ready services, and nurture talent pipelines. Long-term strategy ties everything together: a national roadmap targeting $1 trillion AI contribution to GDP by 2035, anchored by homegrown models, robust compute infrastructure, and a skilled workforce. Success will depend on coordinated policy, sustained investment, and a culture of open collaboration. Stay tuned, stay informed, and be part of India's AI future.